Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up those football guys. Wake up here, guys. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You're not waking up on me? There we go. Wake up. Sometimes it's just hard to get started around here. How you doing? It is Friday morning, and we have good news. Last week when we were going in against Cincinnati, we were looking and saying, man, if we lose to Cincinnati, we could be the number 3 pick. If we win, we could drop out of the top 5. Well, here's an amazing thing. We beat Cincinnati, and we were stuck right there at 5, which is still really, really good. But wait, there's more. There's actually good news last night, since the Oakland Raiders have literally become choking dogs. I'm sorry, there's no other way to put it. The Raiders, who a month ago had a 6-3 record, seemed to be like they had gotten everything together. And since that time, man, they have been abysmal. I mean, the only game they've won since that time is against the Jets, where Greg Williams literally decided, we're going to do an all-out blitz on the last play of the game and allow them to win, keeping their space warm as the number 1 pick. That's the only, and I mean the only, victory that the Raiders have had. But you don't really need to look very far to realize what the problem is for the Raiders. And again, let me point out over here where we are with the Tankathon. Again, you see us right here. Boom. Number 4 position. And, of course, we're going against the San Francisco 49ers, which are down here at the 12th position. Now, one of our teams will win this game. Now, the 49ers are favored in this game. Surprise, surprise. But I think the Cowboys have as good a chance as any to actually get their second game in a row, which would be a first since week 9 last year. But when we're sitting here talking about the problems for the Raiders, the problem for the Raiders are the same problems that the Cowboys have. We always concentrate on the offense. When it comes to the draft, the Cowboys are always looking at the CeeDee Lambs. We're always looking at getting, that offensive tackle, or we're looking at getting, the glory positions. And I don't know if this is Jerry Jones. This is where you wonder if Jerry Jones is about making money or about winning. Because when you get a CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb is going to sell jerseys. He just is. That guy is going to sell jerseys. He's going to put fans in the stands. It's going to be excitement. You're going to be talking about, can he be Rookie of the Year? You're going to be talking about, can he be a Pro Bowler? Is he going to be the next Des Bryant, or the Michael Irvin? You give him that number, and there's so much hype about it. It's a great thing from a marketing standpoint. But the reality is, that's not what wins you. And if you look over here, here's what's amazing. As we go through the top 10 scoring defenses, okay? Pittsburgh is number 1, giving up 18.2 points. Miami, which, surprise, is a playoff caliber team, 18.8. The Rams, 18.9. New Orleans, 20.4. Baltimore, 21 points. The Washington football team, leading the division. It's not the offense. It's 21.2. New England is the first team that's in the top 10 that is not, that is only giving up 21 points, 21.5. Then, of course, you got Kansas City, 21.6. As much as we think about Pat Mahomes and the things he's doing with the offense, that defense is really good. The Bears, which, they're on the outside looking in, 22. And then you have the Giants that are in the playoff chase at 22.4. All those teams have at least a shot, or we're at least in playoff contention. There's no bums in there. There's no Jets in there. There's no Cowboys in there. Teams that are bottom feeders, the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Eagles, you're not in the top 10 in defense. But let's look at the flip side over here. Let's go from 20 on down. Carolina, 25, not a playoff team. Tennessee is one of the few at 21, giving up 25. Cincinnati, you see, 26. Minnesota, 27. Houston, 27. Chargers, 27.8. Cleveland is really the only team that is a playoff potential team that's giving up a lot of points. But they're ground and pound, and they can control the clock at 28.3. Jacksonville, 29. Detroit, 29.9. The Raiders, and here's the problem for the Raiders. They're scoring points, but they can't stop people. 30.1 points a game. And, of course, the Jets at 30.2, and us taking up the rear at 30.8. Now, you can point at Dak Prescott and the offense and everything else and say, well, they're always playing from behind. And, yeah, because the defense can't hold anybody. They can't stop anybody. When you have teams that are running 307 yards and 292 yards on the ground, you stink. You're not going to win. You're not going to be a playoff team with that. And that's the reality of it. And this is where Jerry Jones needs to start looking differently instead of getting those draft picks that are going to put fans in the stands. Getting those draft picks that are going to shut people down to get you to the playoffs. And it's been this way forever. Now, I wasn't really prepared for this, but just to give you an example, Woodson has been going off on our defense, literally saying that they stink. It's demoralizing. And you have even Aldon Smith, who's leading our team in sacks, saying we suck. We've heard Charles Haley talk about this was a house built for losers. But part of the problem is having the dogs in the fight. Sometimes you got to get some pedigree. And I was going through, and I was actually amazed by this. I should have had this up on the screen for you guys. But if you go back through the Dallas Cowboys drafts, and we've constantly had the same issue. How many times have we been talking about a safety? We talked about bringing Earl Thomas in from Seattle. We talked about, trying to get him, making a trade for him. We talked about trying to get him in free agency. We talked about him when he was let go by the Baltimore Ravens. We talked about trying to get a move for Jamal Adams. But we never seemed to get anybody. But here's what's crazy. When you talk about the draft and draft capital and talking about making differences, safeties isn't particularly one of those positions that's a glory position that's going to sell you a lot of jerseys. It's just not. It's not going to really put fans in the stands. But what it will do is put a running back on his ass. Here's the draft since the 90s as far as capital that we put in at safety. Donovan Wilson, 6th-round draft pick, 2019. Xavier Woods, 6th-round draft pick, 2017. Kevon Frazier, 6th-round draft pick, 2016. And 2002, 1st-round pick, Roy Williams. That's it. That's the list. That's it. 3 6th rounds and 1 1st round in the last 20 years. You got to put the resources in on the defense. When Jerry Jones starts talking about, we got to change things, if I, as the GM, I will change, I have to change, you do. You got to start looking at this thing differently. You can look at it. The statistics are there. The stats are there. If you cannot stop teams on defense, you're not going to win. Yeah, it'll be great seeing that offense and everything else and come from behind victories. But if you're truly talking about being a winner, I know having a defense that plays lights out isn't as exciting. You watch the Baltimore Ravens. You watch, the Steelers. You watch these ground and pound teams and stuff. But you know what? It wins. And that's where we need a change in mindset. So as you look at the Raiders, yeah, they're a good team. But until they're able to fix that defense, that's all they're going to be is just an average good team. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you tune in tonight for our live stream coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern. We'll be previewing the Cowboys versus the 49ers and start trying to dissect the body and figure out what else went wrong with the Dallas Cowboys for the season. And hopefully they'll be making some changes that will set them apart next year. I'm Mark Holmes, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you soon.